In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an essential task manager that you will actually use. That allows you to see all your tasks at one glance, the overdue ones and the upcoming ones. See your tasks in a calendar view and drag them around as you want. For every person separately, move tasks for today through a dedicated pipeline, as well as seeing the done tasks by the person. And in the views that are not grouped by the person, you can easily manipulate the filter to see all the tasks or only yours. So in this video, first we will build the database for that system and then we will build the dashboard. For those who don't know me, my name is Leon and I'm verified by Notion with all of their 3 badges and the admin certificate. And here is the task manager tutorial. By the way, the page that you currently see on screen is also in the video description down below, so you can duplicate it to your workspace and build along with me. In this chapter, I want to build the core database with you. So first, let's look on the left side what the finished version looks like. So here you can see the finished version, and what we have is we have 4 views. In this view, we can see all the tasks, for example, for yesterday. So this is overdue. We had write YouTube title. For today, we have script YouTube video, film YouTube video, and for tomorrow, edit YouTube video as example tasks. Now, these are all the tasks that are either overdue, today, or upcoming. And here you also have a dedicated calendar view where you can see all your tasks that are either overdue, like this one, that are due today, or that are upcoming, like edit YouTube video in a calendar view. Now the third view is then our today view, where you can see it's by assignees. So we have me, we have no assignee, and I could, for example, then drag the task around as I want. So that is our today view. Let's say, for example, I finished this task. It was before in progress. Now I finished the task. Then it will show up here in this done tab, where this is also grouped by the assignee. So you can see all the done tasks by assignee. But now that I introduced you to this, let's rebuild this on the right side. First, let's put this page to full width and write /database full page. Then let's call this tasks and give it this checkmark icon. Now we need 4 properties. The first one is a status property. The second one is a person property that we call assignee. And here we want to limit it to 1 person. So the assignee can only be 1 person and not more. The reason I put this to 1 is because if you have more than 1 assignee, so if you have 2, for example, you have this pointing finger situation where one person says the other one is accountable and the other one person says that the first person is accountable. So here I limit this to 1 assignee. The next property is then a date property. We want to call this due date, and we need a second date property. Here we want to call it due date. So we have a due date, that is the date when something needs to be done, and we have a due date. The due date is when we want to do something. And now let's add these 4 views: created time, created by, last edited time, and last edited by. Now for this view, we can absolutely hide the last 4 properties. So now what we can also do here is, I forgot this, we can add the checkmark icon and call this all. Now for this view, we also want to add a grouping, and we want to group by the due date. And what we want to do is we want to date by the day. We want to show the oldest first, so the ones that are either today or overdue or nearest to today will show up first. And then we have hide groups, and we want to turn this off. Now what we also want to do is we want to add a sorting, and here we want to sort by due date ascending and by status descending. Besides grouping and sorting, for this view we also want to add a filter, and we want to filter by status is not done. So we only see tasks that are either not started or in progress. And we also want to add another filter, a separate filter, which is the assignee. And here we want to filter by contains me. So now we have two separate filters. And why I separated them is because now here you can see if we would have tasks, we could only see our task because I set the assignee to me. But now what I can do is I can remove myself, and now I could temporarily see all the other entries with all other assignees. And here I can quickly reset this. That's why I separated the two filters. Now let me add some sample data. Now I added some sample data, and you can see we have the status is either not started or in progress, and we have a total of 5 tasks that are assigned to me. Now, if I remove myself, you can see this tasks also shows up, which is assigned to my other account. So now we have 6. Now, if I only want to see tasks that are assigned to me, I can reset this and only see my tasks. Now that we have our first view, let's create the second view, which is a calendar view. Just click on plus here, select the calendar view, and we can change the icon here. What we want to do here is we want to open pages in side peak rather than in center peak. Now here we can't group, but we want to add a sorting. And what we want to do is we want to sort by due date ascending and by status descending. And here we want to add also the same filter as previously. We want to filter by status is not done, as well as filter by assignee contains me. Now let's also click on property visibility, and here we want to see the assignee, the status, and the due date. And now we have our second view, which is our calendar view. Now let's build our third view, which is going to be a board view. The board view allows us to easily drag items from one status option to the next one. So just click on plus here, select the board view. Let's call this today. Give it this check mark icon. And here for now, everything looks great. Now for grouping, it's automatically grouped by the status and the option, which is great. We have ascending, which we also want. Hide empty groups is off. Now what we want to do here is we want to hide done and pin it, so it's smaller here on the right side. Now in this view we also have a subgrouping, and here we want to subgroup by the assignee. And here again we want to not hide empty groups. So what this allows us to do is, besides having this group by the status, where we can drag this from status to status, we also have this. We also have these toggles. So I can, for example, only see the pipeline for me or for my other account or for tasks that have no assignee. Now here, let me fix one thing and put this to the top, so I always see when something has no assignee at the top. Now what we also need is we need a sorting, and here we want to sort only by due date ascending. For the filter, we will create an advanced filter because here it's already grouped by the assignee, and what we want to create is we want to filter by due date, start date is today, and the status is not done. And this is our advanced filter for this view. Now for the property visibility, we only want to see the assignee and the due date. And here in the layout, we can switch to this compact layout because the list layout displays all the properties under another, and the compact version displays the properties next to one another. So if I click here, you can see this date moves from under to next to. By the way, as I'm building this, also let me know in the comments down below which templates/dashboards you would like to see in a video. Let me know in the comments down below. For our last view, once again, we want to use the table view. So just click on plus, click on table and call this done. We want to select the check mark. And here this looks great, so let's click on done. For the grouping, here again we want to group by the assignee. We want to don't hide empty groups and move this no assignee option to the top. For the sorting, once again here we want to sort by due date ascending and status descending. For the filter, this is very easy. We just want to filter by status is done, so we only see the done tasks. Then for the property visibility, we want to hide the assignee and only show the status, the due date, and the due date. Now what we can do is, if you can see, I have this check mark next to this and I have an assignee. If I just create a new entry, it won't have any check mark. So what we can do is we can create a database template. So click on plus new template. Then for assignee, first click on person who duplicated the page. What this means is that if you create a new task with this template, the assignee is always the person who duplicated the page. And now here we can also add an icon and here select our check mark. So now let me remove me quickly from this, and you can see we have no name, we have no check mark, we have no assignee. And if I now select this new page, you can see we have the check mark and we have the assignee, because this was set to the person who uses this template. I can also give it a name, in this case tester, and give it a due date for today, and we are ready to go. Now one thing that we can also do, which is not that relevant for this template, but if you want to customize it and add more properties, it becomes way more relevant. What I'm talking about is about the database layout. What we can do is we can click on customize layout here. Then first we want to make the inline comments minimal. We want to turn these page discussions off. We want to put this to full width so we have more space. And we want to click on the three dots here and move the property group to the panel. Now we have the option to pin 4 properties here. And here I want to go for the status, the assignee, the due date, and the due date. Now we have our 4 important properties here and the other one in the property groups. You can click on apply to all pages, and what this looks like now is we have the 4 properties that we can manipulate here, and the other ones, if you click here or here, in a sort of side panel if we want to access them. By the way, if you don't want to miss videos like this, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. But now that's it for this chapter. Let's move on to the next chapter. In this chapter, I want to build the dashboard with you. So first, click out here, and here I want to press enter as much as needed to make this database disappear at the bottom. Now here write hashtag to create a heading 3 and call this tasks. Now press Command Shift and the left arrow key to select everything. Press Command U to underline it, Command V to make it bold, Command E to turn it into code, and then select the blue color. Then under here write /callout and create a callout. And by the way, if you're just following around and don't build it, and you don't want to build it, maybe not by the time of the release of this video, but there will be a link to my Notion Marketplace profile where you can duplicate this template to your workspace for free. Now, what we want to do is we just want to write /linked view of data source, and here we want to select our tasks database. Then first add our all view, click on the three dots here and hide the title because we already have it here. Click on plus new view, and here it doesn't matter which you select. Then click on tasks again and add our calendar view. Click on plus again. You can just select table because we prepared the views. Click on tasks again and select our today view. And one last time, click on plus and then select our done view. So now you have it, a complete and simple task manager. If you also want to plan your content in Notion but don't know how to do it, to close this loop, watch this video over here, stay consistent. And last but not least, let's quickly add our 4 views that we can